All right. Welcome to Amateur Hour. I'm Cody Courts here with Troy
Maddox.
Yes.
The standing vice president.
Yeah, how's the hamstring?
Oh, it's starting to reattack.
Thanks. I just ordered another beer
Yeah.
at the restaurant.
And then I stopped talking because I can't talk unless you're actually focusing on me for some reason.
Yeah. You don't talk unless we have direct eye contact, which is really weird.
All the time. Hamstring's tight. Hamstring is still has me out of commission for a little while.
Okay. Well, we're coming to you recorded from Tia Juanita's, where the beer is cold and the oysters are old. That's pretty good. And there's a family praying near us.
With Michael Jackson in the background.
Yeah,
Michael
Jackson's singing in the background. They're praying. And all kind of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
But anyway, flag football. So, stuff happened over the last few weeks. When did we leave off? What was our last flag football thing we taled about?
Week 1.
Week 1? Is that the last time?
Week 2 and 3 are behind us now.
Good gravy. We're going to have to go over those. Let me pull up a mobile smell phone here. Hey, you got it there. All right, so let's kind of chomp on through week 2. So the first
The first game was the best game so far of the season.
Yeah, the first game of week 2 was the game of the week. It was the 4-9 boys playing the Showstoppers, and that was it's one of the best flag football games I've ever seen.
It was intense, back and forth game. I mean, what can you say about it? With that, it's one of those ones you need to go back and watch because there was so much good football play out there. I know it was a low-scoring game. It was a 19-19 game, but it was so well played on both sides.
Well, quite honestly, I understand. I'm not crazy. I know flag football isn't as fun to watch the NFL or whatever, but I think you could take just a normal person and just explain to them, hey, these are two of the best teams in the league, and get them to watch it. And it's kind of like a good World Cup game where you don't really know anybody, but you're like, man, these people are really good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it was really close. It went 2 overtimes. It was 19-19, and the Showstoppers ended up winning on a who made that play? Jason Williams.
Jason Williamson caught the touchdown.
Jason Williamson.
And then Peavy intercepted a pass on the 4-9 boys' first play to end the game.
Yeah, great game. I really like that one.
The first overtime ended with a tie. They tied at the same amount of yardage. I mean,
that's the only time I've ever seen that happen.
It was a great defensive play by the 4-9 boys to dive and pull the flag right at the line to keep it tied and move back to the second overtime. It was impressive. It was a fun game all around.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like I said, that was my favorite flag football game I've ever just watched as a spectator, including any championships or anything. It was just really cool. Just the weird stuff that happened, Diltz wasn't there to play quarterback for the Showstoppers. They had this game plan that they worked with, and then the 4-9 boys came back in the second half.
Yeah.
Because it was 19 to, I think, 7 in the first half, and the Showstoppers didn't score all in the second half. Didn't do so well in the first overtime, and finally got to the end zone in the second overtime at the end and put it away. And so it was cool.
And actually, the Showstoppers really had that game won on their very first play of the first overtime, but Blake Kelly pitched the ball backwards.
He pitched it backwards behind his back.
He was past the line and then pitched it backwards and lost all his yardage, and they ended up not getting any more yards except for the 1 yard to tie it up. And that was it ended up stretching another overtime. Should have never even gone that far.
I've watched that video a few times now, film pitching it, and I do think he was trying to pitch it to a person that was on the field. Because I saw, if you watch the on-field video, there's a person right there. I think he was trying to get it to him. I don't think he was trying to be funny.
I think he had a reason to do it, but man, at that point, you're at the line. Just finish the game off. Just run and finish the game off.
Well, he may not have known that the towel of destiny was upon him.
It was there. He was looking at it. He stared at it with his eyeballs.
Well, it was like touching the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
For Christians. Anyway, so the next game didn't happen. And then the Herd played Salty. The Herd beat Salty 29-12. That wasn't very eventful.
Nothing to write home about that one.
And then GVNG played the Storm. They beat them 47-20. That, once again, not a great game. In the last couple of weeks, we haven't had a whole lot of really awesome games, but New Balance playing Expendables was a much better game than it looked like on paper. The Expendables threw a lot of touchdowns kind of in the middle of the game that were really long, but New Balance, the Expendables just could not stop New Balance. New Balance has a pretty good quarterback, and they've got good guys that can catch the ball. So I think it was just too much for them.
Yeah, that was just a better team beating.
Expendables make too many mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, and they're one of those teams that they can't make mistakes. They have to be perfect, I think, to win big games.
Yeah, because they don't have the quarterback, so they can't just score on command.
Yeah.
All right, and that gets us to week 3. Week 3, Showstoppers beat the Val 46-0. That was nothing. And then the next game was Team New Balance playing GV&G. Now, New Balance had not lost a game yet, but GV&G was 1-1 at that point, and they're a good team.
Yes.
They're just Bruce Reyes plays quarterback for them, and they're way underrated. Thank you. And they're way underrated. So I think that New Balance had a lot of confidence going in because they did beat the Expendables, who I think are really, if I got down to it, they're equals. And they came up against a better team, and GV&G beat them 37-24.
They were making plays that they hadn't made, GV&G that they hadn't made in the first couple of weeks. So I think that really made a difference. And those are two very good teams playing each other.
And then the next game, 4-9 Boys beat the Herd 47-38. That was a good game, I thought. We of course played in it. I thought it got competitive at the end. Well, I played in it. You're hurt.
Yeah.
But I thought it got competitive at the end. The Herd made too many mistakes early, too many dropped footballs.
Got in a hole early. Got down almost 20-0 early, and then had to fight back. So I mean,
and we just can't pull flags.
Yeah.
We can't pull flags. Can't play defense. I think we stopped them a total of one time. It was at the end of the game when they were just kind of messing around.
Yeah, so that was. I mean, the score looks a little closer than I think the game actually felt.
That's
but it
true.
was still. I mean,
it wasn't that bad of a. It wasn't a blowout, I don't think, but it wasn't that close.
Yeah. 4-9 Boys right now are. Well, I mean, they're on the record. They're the second best team in the league, but I would still put them with the Showstoppers as probably 1-1A.
Oh yeah, I think they're they should have won the game against the Showstoppers, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, now if Dilts shows up, I think Showstoppers are better. But absent Jacob Dilts, I'd go 4-9 Boys. The next game was the Storm defeating Salty 44-14. Gave the Storm a good win. It was the game of the week, but it wasn't all that competitive,
It's the Storm's first win of the season.
Yeah, and they're guys who played before, so they kind of know how to play. And Salty, he's never played, so they have a learning curve. But it wasn't altogether terrible. And then to finish out the day, Expendables got back in the win column with 28-8 victory against Prestige Worldwide. Boats and Hose.
Worldwide.
Yes. The best thing about that team is the name.
Yes.
Although they have good athletes, then
they're just not. They're not put together well.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you put a a thing together without glue. Like it'd stay together until you touched it, and then it's just gone.
Yeah, but it's like having a very nice looking car that has no motor in it.
Yep.
It looks great. Everyone looks at it like, man, that's really nice looking.
But there's no motor.
And then it doesn't run. So maybe one day they'll get some kind of motor.
Yeah, any motor.
Even just like a little four-cylinder engine.
What are they got to do?
Just get you one.
Yeah, get you one.
Isn't that something? Isn't it like a car thing? I think I just made like a car thing.
Yeah, car people talk about that. Well, all right, anything else for this first segment of the recap?
No, we always have a well-needed recap. Well-needed, whatever. Yes. Recap's there. Segment over.
Well, come back for the next segment. I think you guys will like it. We'll go over a couple little things that'll be muy entertaining. So stick around.
Muy.
All right, we got kind of a little segment for you guys talking about a new thing coming to the area. It's a pretty decent size event. I think these guys have been all over the country. So Troy was actually their contact person for it. So I'll let him kind of read off their what they're supposed to do. So go ahead, man.
All right, yeah, these guys seem like a pretty large entity, a pretty large league. They're traveling around actually and putting on tournaments around the country, and I thought they seemed like pretty good guys. I didn't actually meet these guys. I talked to them on the phone and through Twitter and email, and but this is their league. It's the Flag League Alliance for Cities and Counties of Independent Districts, otherwise known as FLACID. They're putting on the summer tournament. It's called the Summer Open Flag Tournament, S.O.F.T. The tagline for this tournament is, "This summer, get ready to get soft."
That's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah,
Summer
so
Open
it's a
Flag
Summer
Tournament.
Open Flag
Makes
Tournament. It's
sense.
not bad. Yeah.
So they already have teams in the area playing in this tournament. Now, I don't know if these are actually their traveling teams that play in the tournaments or if these are guys that are already around the area playing. So we'll find out.
What was clear on their website is that they are taking money.
They are taking money.
So, yeah.
They seem to have a pretty extensive portfolio already and some a good bank account, it seems like. So
yeah, they are taking your money if you want to pay them. So go ahead, Troy. Now, what did you say? The team, they have team.
They already have some teams in the league. I don't know if these are their traveling teams or if they're teams that are put in from the local area. But they have teams already, and they already have promo videos and some team branding.
Team branding.
And
yes, that's great.
and Cody will play them after I name off some of these teams here. So
yeah, so you say the name of the team,
Yeah.
and then I'll play the promo they sent for that particular team.
Sure.
So go ahead.
And so the first team we have is the Bulldogs.
Somewhere there lurks a creature with the head of a dog and the body of a bull. It's the most original team name ever, the Bulldogs! Half bull, half dog. What could go wrong?
Okay. The next team we have is the Publishers.
Have you ever typed Punishers into a mobile phone and had the autocorrect correct it to Publishers? The Publishers! Read it and weep.
The Publishers is a good team name. My phone has told me to type Publishers a lot of times.
Yes, and it could be anything.
Yeah. All right. Go. What's the next team?
Okay, the next team. Actually, this is one of my favorite team names: the Vomiting Kermits.
Vomiting Kermit! When you have to decide on your team name in less than 4 minutes.
That's a good name. I can't complain. I can't see any flaw in that team name. But
I love it.
I love this. What's
it
the
feels
next
like something I could have made up. The next team. This is very interesting. The Polished Turds.
Ever heard of a diamond in the rough? Well, how about the Polished Turds? Because every league needs a shitty team.
They have the truest tagline I've ever heard.
I cannot agree more.
This is going to be a really good
the
league.
The thing about it is
or
they may not be
tournament.
bad.
They may not be bad. I mean, they may be pretty good.
So I can't
All
wait
right,
to find
there's
out.
a few more, right?
The next one here, which almost hits near and dear to us in the SETX FFL press box, but Team Klaxon.
Some say its mere sound is alarming. Team Klaxon, blowing everyone away.
I always wanted there to be a Team Klaxon. Ever since we found Klaxon
Yes.
and started tooting him, I wanted there to be a Team Klaxon.
Yes.
So that's pretty heartwarming,
I mean,
actually.
I'm glad people understand us. And they're not even from here. That's fantastic.
All right, go ahead.
One more team that I see in the league already, and I almost I can't wait for this one. The New England Patriots.
That's the New England Patriots, the team with Tom Brady and other NFL players. Bill Belichick will stay around to sign autographs and talk to you about anything you would like.
So wait, that's supposed to be the real New England Patriots, like
It
the
sounds
NFL
like
team?
it. They named players and talked about Super Bowls, so I assume that's the real New England Patriots, unless they're just this is their way to get more people into the league. And they're
Man, that sounds crazy, but it just might happen. All right, now, so did they tell you anything about the price or anything else that they'd have to pay?
They said, this is what they said, $65 at the door. I don't know if it means out the door or in the door, but at the door.
So you don't even sign up before the event. It's just $65. You just show up with $65.
I don't know if that's to be part of the team, or if you just sit in the stands. But I do know 20 grams of protein.
So $65, 20 grams of protein. Perfect.
I
don't know how anything could get any better than that.
I can't argue with that because who can? Honestly.
All right, perfect.
And
Well,
I'll
man,
argue with anything.
This is great. Well, is there anything else about this that we need to know?
Get soft, get flat. Brought to you by Flaccid.
Get Soft, brought to you by Flaccid.
And they sent us a little promo video to close out their little advertisement here for their league and their summer tournament. So here, we'll close out with that.
This summer, get ready to get soft. It's the Summer Open Flag Football Tournament, SOFT, coming this summer to the Golden Triangle. It's a brand of football we've never seen, with teams that are already named and players that are probably going to show up. It's the SOFT Flag Football Tournament, where the referees pay you in calls. Do you want to play the worst team in the league every week at 1 p.m.? Try SOFT. Is your freezer full of Hungry Man TV dinners? SOFT could be for you. Flag football during the summer. It's SOFT, the Summer Open Flag Tournament. We have 9 referees per game. That's right, more referees than players. SOFT. Do you want to attend a Brooks and Dunn concert for free? Then sign up to play flag football in SOFT, the Summer Open Flag Tournament. It's SOFT, the Fuck You Flag Football Tournament. Ever wanted to play flag football armed with a gun and a knife? Play in the SOFT tournament coming this summer. What if every game was started with artillery shells going off? That's how the SOFT tournament is going to be. That's the Summer Open Flag Tournament.
Well, I just can't wait to get soft. So,
I can't wait to see Flaccid and get soft.
yes,
I'm going to bring $65.
I'm going to have 20 grams of protein.
It only takes $65 to get Flaccid.
Yes. Well, all right. We'll go on to something else next. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So we haven't done this segment in a while. We do get, like Troy said, a lot of phone calls, and people have been lighting up the lines.
We don't put many on air because they're pretty vulgar.
Pretty racy.
After those first few, we had to stop putting them on air.
Yeah, a lot of complaints from the FCC and the FDA and the FAA
And the
something
TVA.
about airplanes.
Yeah.
But but we have one today. He actually called the restaurant first, and where we're doing Tia Juanita's. He called Tia Juanita's.
I don't know how that guy knew we were here. Like
I don't either, but he's really into it, and he said he really wants to talk to us. So
is he in? Does he play in the league, or is he?
he
acted like he did. I don't know.
The waitress just passed me a note that said, let me read this name. Hang on just a second. Beau Onion Titman wants to talk to the guys that are doing the podcast on the flag football thing.
That's fantastic. That's almost too fake to be not made up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it's fake. It has to be real.
Well, no, I mean, people name their kids different stuff. So she's actually going to bring me the cordless phone from the restaurant, and I'll patch it into the podcast here, and we can all talk to him.
We're good at patching in.
Yeah, a very high tech. It's
a cordless telephone to a computer, patched in.
You put the antenna in the hole. Everybody knows that, even babies.
This is like the random song generator from Pot of Thunder.
All right, hang on. I actually see her. Hang on. Thank you. You can go now. All right.
She did leave.
she-
She turned right around and left.
Yeah, I
She looked
wanted,
at these two nerds
I
with
wanted-
his computer and his microphone.
I wanted to talk to this guy so bad. All right, so we're plugging him in. All right. Beau Onion Titman, you're on the amateur hour. How's it going, man?
Yeah, this is Beau Onion Titman. I got some complaints and some advice for your league. What y'all play in the Lumberton, don't yous?
Yes, sir. We play in Lumberton.
I've been playing in your league for a long time, and I play for many team, and I got some personal problems that maybe you could help me with.
First of all, I'm confused. You asked if we played in Lumberton, and now you play in the
I
league.
play in a league. I play in a league in Warren. I play in a league in Tbilisi, and I play in a league in Kermit, Texas. And Kichi.
did you
I played
ever-
in Kichi before. See, Kichi had their league, and in Kichi you played from river to river, from creek to creek, and the touchdown was at the creek's edge. If you got across the creek, you mainly got eaten by the crocodiles, or the alligators, or the snapping turtles, or the witches. But I scored me some touchdowns in the Kichi, and Lord, they were good touchdowns. But I mainly want to just voice some frustrations and frustrations with some of what y'all do.
Well, Mr. Titman, that's Mr.
Is this Beau Onion Titman? It's but my daddy was a Titman and his daddy was a Titman, so I'm a Titman. So I got them genes, you know. But enough about that. I just got a few little problems I'm having.
Okay, well, I'm here to help with any problems you have, Mr. Titman. What's the first concern you say you have?
My
with us?
first concern is y'all pointed me to this website where I buy these T-shirts, you know, for my team.
Yes, we like to help with that.
Everybody have their T-shirts and they like their T-shirts, but I got big old nips. It's the big old tits, and the T-shirts they rub on my nips, my tits, and I'm running around bleeding from my tits. And I just wondered that sometimes, you know a man can milk from his tits, right?
You can milk anything with
You
nipples.
can milk a man. And sometimes I milk what I plays, and I don't like it. It makes everything slick, and they think it's sweat, but it's milk. It's man milk. It ain't muscle milk, but it's man milk from my titties. So I'm just wondering, like, is there a better place with shirts that don't rub on my nips so bad and make them bleed and milk?
Well, we do have. You could buy shirts from us in the press box. We actually have T-shirts. I don't know if you're looking for a cotton T-shirt.
That's what a cotton T-shirt would do just fine.
We have cotton T-shirts. I'm sure other places of establishments of clothing wear have.
That is just divine. I think they would fit well on my tits.
It sounds like you might need a bro or a man's ear.
I done tried one of them, sir, and the man's ear, it prevents me from moving as fast and cat-like that I normally like to do in the league.
Now, hang on. Is this guy? I know who this is, Troy.
Who is this?
Dude, he plays out there every week.
I'm trying to figure out
Yeah,
which-
you don't talk. I'm here in anonymity. I said my names, but nobody knows who Beau Onion Titman is. Nobody. So you don't need to talk about who I really am. I'm here in anonymity.
We can't even. What if we said what team you were on? I'm not saying
I
I know
think
what
we
team
should
you're
call
on.
him out, but maybe he
Let's-
doesn't want us
well,
to.
Now,
I
hang
want to
on.
get to his other part
Just-
first.
You need to listen to my other part of the question, because we ain't just here about my nips. We hear about something else, something worse.
Well, what could that be? That
What
sounds,
are your
that sounds horrible
balls?
at first.
Well, let me tell you, my other complaint is them balls y'all playing with, they slick as a possum's ass. I try to go up there and intercept a pass, and it feels like a possum slipping right through my grasp down to my shirt and touching my nipples. And I hate it. and people laugh, and they challenge me to 40-yard dashes.
Beau, man, it sounds like you just. It sounds like maybe you just need to tone back how much you talk about how good you are and stuff. Because I think I know who you are, and I think sometimes you just oversell it without.
Now listen to me, you son of a bitch. I smell like shit and I walk like a lady.
I know exactly who this is now. I'm not going to even mention who you are. I know who you are, and I don't like it.
Did you hear what I say? I smell like shit and I walk like a lady. And that's because I got them hips that be popping and locking, and sometimes deodorant, it don't be working. So next time you see Beau Onion Titman on the streets, you throw me a pass, and I'll catch it, long as it don't feel like a possum's ass.
I can't throw you a ball because apparently the balls that are used in our league are slick as a possum ass.
They slick as the slickest possum's ass you can find in Kitchie, Texas.
You need to bring, sir. I think you should just bring your own ball out to the field.
I think
get your own T-shirt, and that should be.
I think you need to meet me in the middle of the field for a little bit of runway action. We gonna do a 40-yard dash thing. We gonna swing our hips. Then we gonna sweat a lot with no deodorants. Bye.
Well, my
he's
goodness,
gone.
that guy. How do you slam a cordless phone? He did it.
He did. He slammed the. I could smell him through the phone lines. Actually,
what a smell that was. That name fits that name.
So.
Beau Onion Titman.
You know, I'm hoping that he'll come back one day. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was Beau Onion Titman with his
that can't be his real name.
Complaints and issues. So there you go. Well,
what a wild segment that was. That guy. I mean, that one needed to be on air, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that I don't have anything else. So just stay tuned for the last segment of the day, and good luck.
Wow.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So we have some tough stuff to talk about.
Tough stuff.
We got the Tough League started last week. We don't want to ignore a flag football league, but they started, and Shock played Valor 4 or 5 times, and I think one of them's going on to the suicide pool to play for the World Cup.
They were playing
2020.
Flag football. They were playing flag football on a field of grass.
There were I saw some of the videos. There were few people and a lot of grass.
Yeah, they're playing on a big field.
And the center doesn't get to do a damn thing. And I'm offended by that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, centers need love too, okay? But that's all that's going on with that, so
yeah,
that's a thing. All right.
On to the next.
There's a very sad topic that I'd like to broach at this point, if you will, and it's that this is my last season as president of Southeast Texas Flag Football League, and also this is Troy's last season as vice president. So I'm going to give everybody a second or two to gather yourselves, get yourself back together. If you're driving, pull over. It's okay.
Just let that sink in for a second.
Now, you will no longer have to listen to me out at the field. I'll just be a guy. I will still do the podcast, though.
We're still going to do this because this is all we live for, actually.
Yeah, so
we actually get paid a lot more to do this than run the Flag Football League.
Yeah, we get paid a lot for this. To let you guys know, Walt Durham and Blake Dugas will be taking over as president and vice president, respectively. So those guys are, going to do a great job with it, I'm sure, and the league will go on and on.
And start funneling your complaints to them immediately.
Right now. But in the meantime, I thought it would be fun to think about what United States president most reminds me of my term as president. Now, some of you may not know much about U.S. history. If you don't, just listen. I'll be sure to tell you half-assed knowledge. I'll be sure to tell you half-assed knowledge about the little things that I know. So what I'm thinking is...
half-assed and little.
I'm going to start at the beginning of the presidents.
The beginning of time.
This is going to be like an hour-long segment. Now, some may say that I'm closest to the George Washington of flag football leagues. because he was the first one, kind of the father of the country, and blah, 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 blah. But I don't think that's quite right. He was a military man. He was very regal, and he had wooden teeth, where mine are actually made of copper.
You do have copper teeth.
I have several copper teeth. I can't eat batteries.
Anymore.
No, anymore. So George Washington doesn't sound right. Now, I get to someone like James Polk because he said, I'm going to do one term. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do all. That's all I'm going to do, and that's it. I'm done.
My favorite president, by the way.
I know that.
He is my. Okay, good. Glad you know that.
You've told me that before.
Yes.
So I think James Polk is a looker on this list here because he said I'm going to.
And he was a looker too.
Oh, he was very handsome. All the ladies of the 1800s loved him. I think.
Texas became a state during his presidency, so that's a little more.
It's very cool.
Yeah, so is Iowa, which is why a lot of Iowa's counties have Texas names. It's kind of
that
weird.
is kind of strange, and I never noticed that. But that's a good history quip. Do we have a soundbite for history quip?
History quip.
Perfect. All right. So I think James Polk so far. You okay?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. I think James Polk so far sounds okay. Moving on and on, Franklin Pierce was an alcoholic, but that might be all we have in common.
You have it in common, yes.
Grant or Abe Lincoln, he's my favorite president, really, but I don't have a Civil War. Abe Lincoln's just not going to work for me.
He was too tall.
He was tall, but like I said, he's my favorite president, but I can't say that I'm anything like Abraham Lincoln. So I guess
he was too tall.
Much too tall.
You may actually get shot to death, though, so I mean.
Well, now that's not far off.
Yeah.
Which gets me to Garfield.
Semper Tyrannis.
Which gets me to President Garfield. Me and Garfield are very similar presidents. We're both men, and that's about it. But he did get assassinated. Do you know who took over after Garfield?
Was it Grover Cleveland?
I can't remember, actually. But Garfield did get assassinated.
You look like a Grover. I'm going to start calling you Grover. We had a human being as president named Grover.
And one named Millard Fillmore, who took over after Zachary Taylor, who died after eating some cherries. Next. Anyway. So.
I could see you as a... Well, I was going to say Andrew Jackson. We talked about that earlier, but he's a little more aggressive.
We're going to do your
no, I don't want to be a part of this.
politician. No, you're drug in.
Oh.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Oh God.
But anyway,
I think people are going to say I'm a lot like Trump.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's good or not.
I don't know.
Not in this day and age.
So moving on from Abe Lincoln, I can't be him.
Hey, Blinken.
Abe Lincoln. What was that movie? Robin Hood Men in Tights. That was a good show.
Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I didn't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken.
So moving on to the 20th century presidents, you could say I was a lot like Teddy Roosevelt. I think I was pretty aggressive on things. I think I was open-minded. I think I made a lot of stuff happen.
You did speak softly and carry a big stick.
I think I did. Yeah, I really do. I hurt a lot of people's feelings, but I did get a lot of stuff done. I didn't do nearly as much for conservation as he did because there were no national parks to start in the middle of the flag football
league. And we ruined all those ostrich eggs in the middle of the field. We
did ruin a lot of ostrich eggs. So old TR may not have approved of that. I can't say I'm like Woodrow Wilson, who was the president during the First World War, or any of those other people. Taft, I am fat, but I wasn't
Wilson
that fat.
Woodrow Wilson did get a lady pregnant in the White House. It was not his wife.
Well, I haven't done that either, that I know of.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Let's keep it open.
Keep it open mind. Now, James Buchanan was most likely to be our first gay president, but I don't think he and I share many views that are similar. And I'm not
other
gay.
Than being gay.
Well, that's for the last
effeminate
podcast.
Is not gay. Effeminate is not gay.
It's just pathetic.
You're like an effeminate Yoda.
I am like an effeminate Yoda. That was on a video one time.
That was good. That was the best one.
So, you get to like FDR. By the way, I'm only comparing myself to great presidents, so I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Well, there are a lot to choose from. There really are.
But FDR, there was no turmoil or crisis or anything that I had to deal with, really. So
He could have been he served the longest. He could have been the longest running president ever. He could still be president now if he didn't die.
that's true.
Because they didn't put
If he didn't die.
They didn't put a term limit on until after him.
That guy was riddled with polio and all kind of stuff.
But there was no term limits for president until after him. So
that's true.
He
was open-minded. I like that about him.
We've put term limits on because of you.
Now, here's one that I think I might get close to. Dwight D. Eisenhower, I thought, was a pretty good president. He was big on infrastructure. He wanted to build things up and make them sustainable. You know, he built the interstate roadway system. He wasn't up front a lot. He was often behind the scenes, which I do try to be, except for the podcast thing.
He did. He was in the field of battle. Just like you were in the field of battle.
I play in the league, so I think Eisenhower's not bad.
Okay, I can see that one.
After
He's
Eisenhower,
just as bald as you are.
I'm not nearly as good looking as Kennedy or nearly as ugly as Lyndon B. Johnson.
I think you should be Lyndon B. Johnson because of his wanting to buy a pair of pants over the phone. This is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. So if for those of you who don't know, Lyndon Johnson often had problems with his pants that he required some assistance with, and this is a phone conversation between Lyndon B. Johnson, the President of the United States, and Mr. Hager, the owner of the Hager Pants Company. So this is it.
Hello? Mr. Hager?
Yes, this is Joe Hager.
Joe, is your father the one that makes clothes?
Yes, sir. We're all together.
You all made me some real lightweight slacks that he just made up on his own, sent to me 3 or 4 months ago. It's a kind of a light brown and a light green, rather soft green and soft brown. Now, I need about 6 pairs for summer wear. I need about 6 pairs to wear around in the evening when I come in from work. And I can send you a pair. I want them a ½ inch larger in the waist than they were before, except I want 2 or 3 inches of stuff left back in there so I can take them up. I vary 10 to 15 pounds a month. So leave me at least 2.5, 3 inches in the back where I can let them out or take them up, and make these a ½ inch bigger in the waist. Make the pockets at least 1 inch longer. My money and my knife and everything fall out. Wait just a minute. Hello?
Hello.
Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me 1 inch that I can let out there, because they cut me. They're just like riding a wire fence. These are the best that I've had anywhere in the United States. But when I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So leave me, you never do have much margin there. Let's see if you can't leave me about 1 inch from where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole.
All right, then.
So I can let it out there if I need to. Now, be sure you got the best zippers in them. These are good that I have. And if you get those to me, I would sure be grateful.
Where would you like to send, please?
White House? I just sure will appreciate this. I need it more than anything. And now, you give this boy the address, because I'm running for a funeral, and give him address just how to dress these trousers. So we'll send them to you. And don't you get the measurements out of them and add a ½ inch to the back. Give us 1 inch to the pockets and about 1 inch underneath so we can let them out.
In other words, you like just a little more stride in the crotch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here he is.
Glad that you enjoyed the others.
Okay, go ahead, please.
And apparently
He needed a lot of room.
that guy, you say what you want about Lyndon Johnson. He had balls.
Literally, a lot, because they were like, he wore pants like he was riding a wire fence.
It was all during the Cold War, so maybe the Russians got into his cereal at some point and made it radioactive, so his nuts swelled to a degree that he required more pant.
He needed, imagine how those pants looked. He needed so much room, another inch here, another inch there. It looked like he was wearing a zoot suit.
The crotch was only about 2 inches from the ground. He's just waddling around in a dress that's sewn together, really.
What an it's so good. That is such a classic thing. That
Yeah.
man was president of the United States at that point.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Ordering a pair of pants.
But moving past Lyndon Johnson, I'm not like any of the other presidents to me are too modern to really think about. I'm far too mean to be Jimmy Carter, and I don't know nearly enough about peanuts.
Okay.
So, I think. Go ahead.
I think you have some H.W. qualities, George H.W. Bush qualities, because he has a plan he wants to go with. Sometimes the plan doesn't work out, but he wants a plan to go the way he wants to, which is actually the reason why he didn't get reelected, because he wanted to stick with his plan and had to veer away from his plan.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that he admitted his mistakes a lot, and I think I'm at least in that way. Like, I fuck up all the time. But like I just said the F word, now I got to go back and find it and bleep it out, which is annoying. But so at the end of the day, I think I am some combination of Polk, because I feel like I'm one of the early people into this whole thing that expanded it a lot, and Eisenhower, because I'm big into the infrastructure and not being up front all the time. And now, what was your comment on my
and
complexion?
Trump's color? Whenever you're out there playing, you look like Trump's color.
So I'm a bit orange.
Yeah.
So I'm basically that when it comes to the league.
That's good.
Now, on the subject of you, and I know you don't want to play this game.
I don't want to play this game anymore. I think we should edit this. We should stop.
And we've already played it several times. But
I
want you to
act like I'm trying to act like this is the first time we've done it. I'm trying to act like I'm upset about it.
I always wanted you to act like it's the first time we've done it.
Good times.
Tell me why you like Jim Bowie. And why is Jim Bowie you?
I don't even remember why I said that now. Oh, because at any moment he's going to lose his shit and could get in a fight and kill somebody or get killed. He's at the edge of a fight at the
edge of a knife. A Bowie knife.
A Bowie knife. He's at the edge of losing his shit.
Well, there's a lot of streets named after him, so that's good.
Yeah, and
well,
I'll say again, the best representation of the Alamo is the movie The Alamo, not the John Wayne version from the 60s, but the 2000s versions with Billy Bob Thornton as Davy Crockett. Watch that one. The most historically accurate movie about Texas and the Alamo.
Well, all right. I will have to give that a watch.
The Jim Bowie death scene is amazing. Great cinema.
I will watch it. Now, for some closing remarks, because like I said, this is we're going to do the podcast a few more times. We'll do it after this anyway, but just as president, I wanted to tell you all that I appreciate you, that I've had a really good time, and that the league has been much easier to run and more pleasant since the Jack boys left. And that's all I have to say.
It's been more pleasant, and everybody agrees with you on that one. That's not just us saying that. I think everybody, even though I miss seeing their talents on the field, they are great to watch. But everybody, the day is so much more smooth, and everybody enjoys the day, and there's less trash at the field.
Yes.
Not human trash, paper
garbage.
Yes.
Well,
and less weed smell.
And I'll tell you this: I don't think there's not one of them that I dislike on a personal level individually.
Yes, I agree with that.
But I was in a class in high school where there was just the wrong group of kids in the wrong class together, and it was always disruptive. I think that group of people get around each other and make everyone behave in a way that they wouldn't normally. So I think it's good that they've dispersed and they're on different teams. I think it's better for all of them.
Yeah.
But man, I got to tell you, as president of the league, running it for the last few years, the number one problem I ever had was trying to deal with difficult teams like them. So it's been very pleasant without them.
As Tommy Lee Jones said in Men in Black, an individual person is smart, but people are dumb, panicky things that can't handle situations very well.
I think that's just great. So let's end it on that, and we will see you guys Sunday.
Good luck.